Hello, Brian the Fanboy here, and today I'm gonna talk about Digimon. Now, I was first introduced to Digimon when the first season started airing on Fox Kids back in 1999. I was 13 years old at the time. Now, and Digimon, well, in the first season, we have this group of kids who went to summer camp and somehow they ended up in the digital world. Now, these kids are a boy named Ty, a girl named Sora, a boy named Matt, yeah. Oh yes, a boy named Joe, a girl named Mimi, a boy named Easy, and a little boy named TK, who is the younger brother of Matt. And yes, I think the rest of the kids were of middle school age during the first season. Well, anyway, yes, and they met up with these creatures called Digimon, which means digital monsters. And surely these Digimon changed their forms. I don't know what's the first episode or second one, but yes. And well, the kids they became a group known as the Digidestins, and each one has a special Digimon companion. For example, for Dai, his Digimon is Agumon, who looks like a small orange Tyrannosaurus. I can't remember the name of the rest, but yes, each Digimon has special powers, and they also can evolve, which in the show is known as Digivolve, into more powerful forms. And the first more powerful form that was shown was called Champion. Of course, the Digimon don't stay in their champion forms, permanently. They go back to their previous form, even the more least evolved ones, depending on the situation. And yes, the Digidescents and the Digimon, they go on adventures and fight enemies while they were going on trying to find a way back home, back to the real world. Now, during the first season, there started to be a rivalry between Digimon and Pokemon. Of course, I never liked one better than the other. I like both Pokemon and Digimon equally. Yeah, so as for comparing the two franchises, well, of course, both the and Demon. However, well, yes, and each franchise have creatures with special powers, but I think that's where the similarity ends. As for the differences, well, in Digimon, the the creatures they can all talk in complete sentences. Unlike the Pokemon, where they only say their names, with the exception of a few. And let's see. As for the evolution thing, well, in Pokemon, the evolved form are permanent, while in Digimon, they are they're not permanent. Oh, and also, while in Pokemon, there is no evil Pokemon, and their actions are only based on what their trainers or masters tells them. And Digimon, they well, they don't have trainers or masters, and there are evil Pokemon. I mean Digimon that bring causing trouble in both the digital world and the real world. Oh, and also the Digidescents, they don't capture other Digimon and put them in some kind of container. They just hang out with the good ones, and their companions use the virus, to fight the bad guys. Now, the main villains, well, I remember there was one called Etomon who looks like a some kind of ape with sunglasses, and well, in the English dub version, he sounds like Elvis Presley, and he was defeated. And then the Digimon, I mean, the kids in the Digimon started to fight this evil Digimon called Mayorismon. And, well, he went inside the real world, and the Digidescents, they also managed to make it back home, at least at the camp where they were first were in. Well, the game had to close early, and so the Digidescents, the kids went back to their families. Oh, I forgot, there was this one old man who lives in the digital world called Gemini, and yes, he was helpful too, and told the Digidescents, about why they're in the digital world and what is they have to do. And eventually we meet Dai's younger sister Cory, who is the same age as DK. And well, the reason she didn't wasn't at the camp, at the beginning of season 1 was because she was sick, so she wasn't able to go to camp. But eventually she did recover, and eventually she got her own Digimon named Katomon, who once was a semi-Odysmon, but eventually when Cory befriended her, turns out that they were a match. And so Cory and Katomon, they joined the race, and after defeat Mayorismon, the Digitans went back to the digital world to get set for the final battles. Also, when they got back, it's revealed that time is faster in the digital world. So there was no telling how much damage was done over there during their time in the real world. And eventually they started to oh yes, continue their adventures. Oh, and also the Digitesters, they were giving these special things called Crest. Dai, he got the Crest of Courage. Sora got the Crest of Love. Matt got the Crest of Friendship. Joe got the Crest of Knowledge. Mimi got the Crest of Sincerity. Tiki got the Crest of Hope. Oh no, Joe got the Crest of Reliability, and Easy got the Crest of Knowledge. Yes, and yeah, I think I said Tiki got the Crest of Hope, and Cory got the Crest of Light. And eventually they started to it was getting to the end of the first season. They defeated the final villain of season 1, which was Spider-Man, and well, that was the end of their adventure for the first season. And of course, the kids had to go back home, and the Digimon had to reside in their own world. And oh yeah, it was a sad goodbye, but there was hope that someday they could see each other again. Now we go to the second season, which takes place a few years after the events of the first season, with the older Digidescents now in high school, and with Tai and Kari are now the age where the older kids were when they first became Digidescents, and even went to the same middle school. And then they were joined by new Digidescents. There was a Appointed Davis and a girl named Jolie, and they also went to the same middle school, and the same age as Ty and Corey. And then we have another younger Digidestined who was his name is Appointed Cody, and yeah, he was I assume he was the same age Ty and Corey were when they first became Digidestined back in season one. Now, also in season two, there was some trouble in the digital world, and well, the kids had to go back, and then the older ones, from season one, they would help around, and whenever the occasion rises, and also in the second season, they found a way to go to and from the digital world at their own will, instead of having to rely on security fans. So they were able to to go back home after uh, their daily adventures. And see, and there was a new villain who was causing trouble in the digital world, and some kind of tyrant who was ruling. Oh, also, should mention that there is this other character named Ken who was a celebrity because he was really smart and very good at sports, and he was popular with the girls. Yes, and I'll get more about him, later on in the video. So yes, Ty and Corey also got their own, returned as Digidestineds, and the new friends also joined them, and they got their own Digimon companions too. Oh, and I forgot to mention that Davis, he has a crush on Gary, and gets jealous whenever he sees Ty and Cory together. Let's see. Now, in the digital world, the Digimon weren't able to evolve into the champion forms because of these towers. However, there was something that happened called Armored Digivolve, where the Digimon can use a special device, some special armor that can evolve into their armor evil form, and eventually, yes, they started to destroy a lot of the towers. Now, I should mention that during the second season, there was Digimon the movie that I think it was 2000 where it was first premiered in theaters. Of course, didn't get a chance to watch it in theaters. However, my father did buy it for me and my sister on video cassette. And in that movie, well, it has three segments. The first one takes place during the early childhood of the original Digidestineds, which reveals the first time Tai met Koromon before he became Agumon. Oh, I forgot to mention in my comparison between Pokemon and Digimon. Well, in Digimon, all of the Digimon names end in Mon. While in Pokemon, they don't do that. But anyway, back to the Digimon movie. Yes. And eventually, the events that happen in, Tai's early childhood, well, that was resolved. Now the second part was the it took place shortly after the events of the first season when there was a trouble that's going on in the digital world, and well, was trying to get everybody to get yes, but to get you know to help with the crisis, but there was too many problems, and both Tai and Nancy managed to get a hold of Matt and DK, and of course for Matt and DK, well, it was difficult since you were visiting the grandmother who lived in an area that didn't have as much technology in like in the city. But anyway, yes, Melody Gay did their part to help out, and the crisis was averted. And then came the third part of the movie, which takes place during sometime during the second season, where they met a new Digitestan who, well, turns out he had his own Digimon that was causing trouble, but eventually that was resolved. Now, back to season 2. Yes, well, I remember in season 2 they show footage from some. I was from in a movie, although when I first saw that footage, I was thinking maybe I should have gotten on DVD instead because of the special features, but maybe it wasn't the special features, maybe it was seeing from a Digimon movie that only premiered in Japan, which caused some confusion. But anyway, now eventually in season 2, it was revealed that Ken was the tyrant that was causing trouble in the digital world, and eventually the Digitestants they put us to his tyranny, and also Ken he along the way he realized the trouble he caused and was in self pity. Because he felt so ashamed for what he did, and then well, when a new trouble arise, well, Ken was needed to help out, but he didn't think he could do it, with his self-loathing and all that stuff. But Jolie, she knocked some sense into him and got him to help out, and yes. And later in the series, there was during like a Christmas special or a Christmas event. I think it was more to one. So, but well, first thing, Gemini returned. Only this time, he had the appearance of a man in his either 20s or 30s, and it was revealed that the kids they had to go to different parts of the world to get the help of other digitestants who well doing their part outside of Japan. Oh yeah, and season 2 is where I learned that that's where that series takes place in. Yeah, I think eventually I will learn about Digimon's Japanese origins, as time went by. But yes, like they went to Australia, and let's see. Trying to think. Oh yeah, I think of Mexico. Does it have to do with England or? But anyway, yes, different parts of the world. And when they when the kids got back to Japan, there was some changes that happened. For example, more kids were becoming smarter and more good at sports. Only it was revealed that it was because of these sports. Because you see, even though it makes him very talented, it also has a side effect, and that is it makes them act like jerks. Yes, but eventually the digitestants, kind to realize, about how they were acting, and because also their action is what resulted in the of me was their emotions, so resulted in this new villain to arise. Or maybe it was an old villain, Majorisman, I think. He came back in a new form. I think it's been a while since I've seen that season, but eventually everybody defeated him, and well, season two ended with what the cheated contestants are now up to as adults. With Tai and Naguma now being diplomats, Mimi having a cooking show, Ken being a detective, and he has married Jolie, and let's see. Yes, there's so many things that they have done as adults. And that was the end of the second season of Digimon. Now we get to the third season. And unlike the previous two, season 3 has a completely new set of digitestants. Yeah, and they have no connection with, the previous ones. Although I remember there was a character who mentioned Kari, but well, in that season, Digimon was some kind of like a popular franchise. So the Digimon was a TV show in that version, and had to do with card games. And eventually, there was some Digimon that appeared in the real world. And well, I didn't see every episode of that season. Maybe it was because maybe I wasn't able to, or maybe because I found other things I want to watch. And back then you couldn't watch TV shows online at your own time like you can now. But yes, I mean I did see it ending with this girl who was a friend of the main lead in that series, and eventually the problem was solved. And then came the fourth season of Digimon, which didn't air on Fox Kids, but instead it aired on UPN 38. Yes, and just like with the third season, I didn't see every episode, just only seen it when I was able to. And mostly had, and like the third season, this one has a new set of digitestants, and also in the fourth season, the kids they turn into Digimon, and yeah, well, yes, the season ended with the problem being resolved and the kids going back to the real world, and yes, that was the final season of Digimon I ever saw, and that was because I didn't find any of the later seasons airing on any of the networks I had at the time. So, yes. Now, as time went on, I did start to learn more about Digimon's Japanese origin, especially after becoming an adult. And before I made this video, I did some research and I learned that. Oh, I forgot to mention. When I was watching the first season of Digimon, I also rented the Digimon video game for the original PlayStation. Of course, it was my sister's PlayStation, but I rented that game, and well, I wasn't able to complete it since there were parts of the games I couldn't figure it out, and had to return it, before it was due. But anyway, yes. Now back to what I was saying. Yes, I did some research and I learned that Digimon started out as this virtual pet game, and it was intended to be like the male equivalent of Yamakashi, and it's supposed to have a kid gets their own Digimon, a boy gets his own Digimon, and there was some cables to connected with another one, so kids could play together. However, it led to some controversy because, well, it resulted in fights among the students, and because of that, they were banned from being brought to any schools. So kids had to find another place to play again that Digimon virtual game. Yes, there's also a Digimon card games. Of course, I don't think they get as much attention as Pokemon, but anyway, yes, I did enjoy watching the Digimon series when I was younger, and even though I don't have a Digimon collection, I I do appreciate the the fun memories I have of it, and I maybe one day I will revisit the series, watch it in the original Japanese language with subtitles, and as well watch the English dub versions as well as the season I never seen before, and read the digital copy of the Digimon comics as well as the mangas. And I also learned that there's a Digimon manhwa, which is kind of like manga, but it has Chinese origin, while manga is Japanese. But anyway, I think that's all I can say about Digimon in this video. And also, please subscribe to my channel because it will help me a lot. And also, share this video on social media like Facebook, Twitter, or whatever. So that's it, and I'll see you next time. Bye.